You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what is up, guys? Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Deanie. We have a very special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say that, this is who you can be. The things you own can vanish in an instant, but the person you become stays with you forever. Ooh. Yeah, not as spooky though, but possessions are temporary, no matter how much you value them. But the growth you achieve, the values you embody, and the impact you make, that's the legacy that lasts. When your focus is narrow and superficial, life often feels cold and unfulfilling. But when you elevate your priorities beyond material wants, life transforms into something vibrant, meaningful, and full of light. Put your energy into who you can be and what you can give rather than just what you can get. Suddenly, life stops being a struggle and begins to flow. Every person, every challenge, every opportunity aligns with your purpose. If all you are chasing is to acquire, whatever you get loses meaning as soon as you have it. But when you strive to grow, to contribute, to create, you step into a world of ever deepening fulfillment. The more you give of yourself, the more you become. The more you grow, the more there is to give, to live, to share, and to enjoy. Take that from me, Coach Denny. That is my word. Change is possible. Are you ready?
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio. And I am your host, Deanie. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. The ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, tonight we welcome back an artist whose blend of hip-hop, R&B, funk, and pop creates an irresistible sound. Jamaal Marvel, a Virginia native with the talent for crafting melodies and lyrics that hit the soul, has captured our attention once again with this latest album, Tales of a Fool, Premonition, and the captivating single Daydream. His journey from early beginnings to an impressive repertoire continues to inspire and evolve. So please join me in saying welcome, friend, to Jamaal Marvel. Yo, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir, man. So, since you're here, glad that you're here, man. What's been on your heart and mind lately?
Honestly, man, I've been excited here lately. Grateful and excited, man. I grateful for the product, for the project to come out. Grateful for the reception of it. Man, I meet so many people and I get so much feedback, and you really get to see like how art directly impacts people's lives in ways that you might not, even if you attend it, and do things with a certain level of attention to see it come true. It's a different experience in itself. So I've just been grateful and excited and motivated to keep doing what I do. So that's what's been on my mind lately.
Nice. Which part have you been most excited about?
Man, I think I'm finally starting to release some of the creative nuggets that I've been really working on over the last couple of years. Both from a musical standpoint, but also from a writing standpoint as well. So, like I said, as you know, the album came out in late October, and my music isn't just, hey, here's an album, right? Here's some ideas and a body of work that came from my mind. Because I'm also a sci-fi fantasy writer, I like to approach everything from the writer mind. You feel me? This album is the first album of my musical chronicles that I'm releasing. So it'll be a total of about 6 albums total, and each album tells a different portion of my life in chronological order. But it also uses or does that through fantasy, because when you listen to each album, there's a main character, and the interludes give you a story, a line of this particular main character, inspired by the events of my life, which of course infuses sci-fi fantasy elements. And so when you listen to each one of the albums, and you listen to each one of the interludes in each album, at the end of the Chronicle series, you'll get like about a 20-minute audiobook of the adventure of this particular character. So that's kind of been exciting to actually see that and get that started. So this album right here is Premonition. So it is the prologue, essentially, right? It's right before the first album of the adventure. So this album has a little bit of everything. Each album I work on in the future, the album itself has a different sound, i.e. that it kind of goes along with the journey and the places that this particular character is at in that character's life. And you get to taste, like a sampler, a little bit of every genre that I will touch moving forward, every sonic type of flow that I change, every type of instrumental, that I change up per each album. But you get a taste of all of that in this album, which is why it's a little longer of an album. So yeah, that's been really, really cool.
Absolutely, man. That sounds super cool, man. An adventure, a sonic adventure.
Yep.
In the project.
Exactly. Yeah. And the artwork as well. So the artwork on this album is the artwork cause I'm also writing a book series on the character itself from the album. And granted, the storyline of the album and the book series are similar. They have some overlapping, but it's not the exact same. You can't really tell a fantasy story in 20 minutes of audio. So you get pieces of it, but the artwork from from each one of the albums, artworks and scenes and stuff from different pieces of the book as well, because it's both a fantasy novel, and I'm also kind of turning it into a graphic novel as well too. So you kind of get almost like a preview too of that from listening and participating in the music chronicle experience.
Absolutely. So not to rain on all the excitement, and maybe there's a good reason for this, but I thought I saw a previous release date of this summer, but the project came out in this fall. Is that correct?
Yeah. So this is one thing I've learned just in life, right? It's not really just one thing, but one thing that I really sit in is staying in your moment, right? a lot of times we set up plans, we set up goals, and we set up, different benchmarks that we want to do. And if we are too stringent, if we are too rigid, if we're unable to adjust and move, then we'll miss out on opportunities, and we'll miss out on doing or creating a project that is worthy of what we see. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And in actuality, like last year, I dropped 2 albums, and there were some issues, some things that kind of came out, and I dropped it. I took it off as soon as I released it. I took it off like within the same like hour, 2 hours, like it was just done. And the reason I did that, which is also the same reason I pushed back the release of the album this year's, was there was this voice that was like, you won't be satisfied if you do this. Like, if you do this, you will not be happy. This is not what you want. And I decided to listen to that, because that voice is just my subconscious letting me know, hey, you know what you see, you know what your goal is. You're rushing. Stop rushing. Just let it flow and adjust as it goes. And because of that, on this album, the album is 23 tracks, I believe, off top of Dome, and I will say that I recorded 7 songs, 3 or 4 weeks before. I had to get the music and stuff in to hit my release date, and that's why I pushed the album back, because my spirit was just saying, this you have this entire multi-year thing. You can't half-ass, I don't know if I'm cussing out the prologue. Yeah. You can't half-ass the prologue. So do what feels right, and what felt right was to add a little bit more, go a little bit harder, a bit more detail, and that's what I decided to do. And honestly, best decision I made.
Yeah. Best decision, for sure. Now we have this amazing collection, this amazing project. And this is just, I was going to say this is just book 1, but this is just project 1, right? How many of these do we get?
So this is just a prologue. Right now, I will say a guaranteed 5 for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do the 6th one or not. It just kind of depends on where I'm at. Each project, I'm pretty far ahead. I know I already have all the songs laid out for. So this is Premonition. So then the next album is Chapter 1. I have all the songs for that album already laid out. I have all the songs for Chapter 2 already laid out. All the songs for Chapter 3 already laid out. I still have about half the album for Chapter 3 recorded, and I have all the songs for Chapter 4 laid out. And I have an idea of some of the songs I want for Chapter 5. And each album is roughly between 16 to 20 tracks for each one. So all my stuff is pretty much laid out. I can go to the studio tomorrow and start recording each one of those projects. I'm ready. So yeah.
Does it make recording music easier when it's themed?
Yeah, for sure. Because when you go in, I've been sitting with this music for so long, right? By the time I get to some of these projects, I would have had them for years. One of my songs on the album, this album, I have previously released it, called Dark Side. It's my biggest single so far. And I had that beat for like 6 years. I made the beat like 6 years prior. I had written like 6 years prior. But I was doing other things and I just couldn't get to it. So because of that, it's almost like, again, just like writing, right? You live with these characters, these ideas in your head for so long, they become real to you. So it's the same concept when it comes to music and lyrics. You have this song, for everybody else it's new, but for you, this is old. You've heard this song a zillion times, right? You've made all the adjustments and changes in your head that you can make, from a mental perspective before you go into the studio. So when you go to the studio and start to record it, you're just like, oh, this is like an old friend, right? And then you hear it, you're like, okay, I'm gonna tweak this, I'm gonna tweak that, I'm gonna tweak, tweak these things in the studio, from maybe some fresh ideas kind of throw in there from the engineer's perspective. But all in all, this is not something new for you. You've already practiced it for so long. So yeah, it definitely makes it a lot easier to knock out things in the studio. You're a lot more confident, a lot more fun, to be honest.
Yeah. Man, what's a non-musical skill or hobby that you've mastered or dove into recently?
Recently. Well, I would say I don't think there's anything that can ever truly be mastered from an artistic standpoint. You're always growing, always elevating. There's always something new to learn, always something new to do. But I would say my latest skill set that I picked up in this world at the moment, it is difficult, and this is in that doesn't matter what art form you take up, but it's difficult to simply have a particular art form and just do that, right? And when it comes to advertisement, because people don't know you, right? So the goal is just like anything else, be you, you're selling apples on the side of the street, or whatever you're doing. It's better to have, hey, here's this other thing that you might also like, and while you're here, here's some apples, versus I just have apples, For me, what I started to do is I wanted to create a world where I could advertise everything that I am at my core in one location. I ended up creating this thing called the Megaverse. So I revamped my YouTube channel. I haven't started posting stuff on other platforms yet. Just kind of focuses on YouTube at the moment. And in the Megaverse, I took everything that inspired me as a child, as an adult, right? I grew up on anime. I grew up on DC Comics, Marvel Comics, video games, Capcom, fighting games, things like that. And obviously music, and really big on history as well, too, historical figures, things like that. So in this world, I asked myself, what would happen if the DC universe and the Marvel universe merged? Well, we've seen that before in comics. But I was like, well, what happens if the merger of that universe causes every other universe in the world of fantasy to slowly start merging to this central point? Essentially taking everything I've ever loved as a child and placing it in the same universe. So what does that look like? What does the characters that we know look like? What does Batman do in this situation? What is Goku? What is he in this particular world? Who's a villain? Who's a bad guy? And so I basically not necessarily once a month, but I take two different individuals from two different universes, and I create a comic book, interactive comic book with full voiceovers, music, lights, scenes that you watch, and I tell a short story of two cool team ups. So, for example, I have the adventures of Batman and Iron Man. Those are kind of out. I'm finishing those up. The next adventures are the adventures of Naruto and Bob Marley, the adventures of Deadpool and Dante, things like that. And in those, each episode, it's just like a Saturday morning cartoon. You get a piece of information about the historical characters or about the fictional characters, learn some things about them that you not know, and then it goes into the interactive comic book piece, leaving off on cliffhangers and things like that until that particular team up is done. So from doing that, I had to learn a lot of different skill sets. One of those things was really diving into AI. So I'm pretty good, pretty adept at that when it comes to the vocal portions or musical portion of AI, when it comes to the animation portion of AI, when it comes to the world of AI in general. I'm very, very adept to that. And that world is always changing. Like it changes so quickly. There's always something new to learn to kind of do. So I would say that is probably the newest endeavor and skill set that I've learned.
Absolutely. So your single Daydream has such a layered sound. What inspired this creation, and how do you ensure your music or this particular piece resonates emotionally with the listeners?
I think another thing I learned in life, my very first album, very first album, like I had no clue what I was doing. I just kind of walked into the studio. I was like, hey, I have these things and I want to record, And in that album, I took from experiences of my friends and family and things like that, but I didn't write from my own personal experiences. Because to be honest, certain things I just hadn't experienced in life. And on these projects, on this musical chronicle series, everything is about me. It's all me. So I am pulling from my own experiences. So I pour a little bit of my soul in each one of those, in each one of the songs. And Daydream, is no different. So, I spend so much of my time in my head for a lot of different reasons because I'm a creative, but also when I was younger, when it came to love, right? I daydreamed when I saw somebody I was interested in, or I interacted with, right? And it was a good vibe, it was good energy, and I would be daydreaming all day or all week about this individual, and what we were going to do the next time, like what I was going to say the next time, and how I was going to interact and have this whole thing, And I wanted to kind of put that on paper because I know it's something that everybody does, right? We all fantasize, we all daydream, especially when it comes to love. That's a universal language, it's a universal experience that we all get at some point of our life. Call it puppy love, infatuation, whatever. We all experience in that, and therefore we all experience that fantasy, FOMO, daydream, and that sensation is such a pure and it can be such a pure, innocent sensation and emotion. It's joyful at its core. And I wanted to convey that in the lyrics of the song and the flow of the song. So that's what inspired that portion. As far as the vocals, I really wanted to pour from like late 90s, early 2000s energy and feel. So I kind of poured from some Chris Brown influences. I always pour from Aaliyah, Mariah Carey, vocal fries. I love that sound. And, I wanted to kind of give you that warm sensation to go along with the melody of the song and the intention of the song. And then the last portion that I wanted to add is, like I said before, each one of the songs on the album now gives you a piece of what the songs on the different albums coming up and the different chapters coming up are going to sound like, right? And one of the book 3, I believe, I really focus heavily on live instrumentals. And this song, Daydream has a wonderful guitar solo in that song. So kind of give you a taste of what book 3 is going to sound like. So yeah, and that all came together and made Daydream.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Are you ready to dive into this awesome hit? It is called Daydream by Jamaal Marvel, and then we'll be right back to put him in our traditional hot seat where he can perform for us if he wants to. He could sing, rap, poetry, spoken word, tell a joke, tell a story from his life, play an instrument, give advice, or do nothing at all. It's totally up to him. But for right now, here it is, Daydream. Stay tuned.
I noticed at first it was too much for me, honestly. I'm not one to settle easy. It must be supernatural, this feeling that began to grow like rain. I'm covered with this glow, I can't deny it. I spend hours thinking about your love, hazy like a daydream that I can't escape, and I don't know if I wanna. Just to know that I'm who you're thinking of sends me into a state of love. It's smothering, I feel I'm losing control. Got me like, oh, I've been thinking about your face for days. Got me like, oh, I stay in my feelings lately. Throw your hands up, hands up, hands up. Yeah, when you come around, I notice that my heart be on double time, no focus. Now I don't got no time for this love. Been focusing on me, now I'm lost. Brown skin lover, the way that you smile is so utter. thinking about your love, hazy like a daydream that I can't escape, and I don't know if I wanna. Just to know that I'm who you're thinking of sends me into a state of love. It's smothering, I'm losing control. Oh, I've been thinking about your face for days. I've been like, oh, I stay in my feelings lately. Oh, just one word from you and I'm flying off to the moon. If you feel me, throw your hands up. If you feel me, throw your hands up, hands up. Put your name on it. My heart done been yours. Don't you play with it. What you acting cold? I know you want it. You can't hide it now. Put your name on it, baby. Your name on it, baby. Put your name on it, baby. Your name on it, baby.
All right. Welcome back again. That was Daydream with Jamaal Marvel. Such an incredible record. Let's go ahead and bring him back. Yo, you're back live with us and in our hot seat. Are you going to perform for us?
You know what? Of course I am, man. Of course I am. Whatever y'all want, I'm here. I'm here for the fans. I'm here for your audience.
All right. Like, what do you feel like doing?
Man. So I guess let's just talk about the album, right? We're talking about songs on the album. Let's keep it in the realm of Daydream. That's a song on the album called "Living Life Lies," and that song is kind of like the counterpart to Daydream. I really shouldn't say counterpart, but like the opposite of Daydream, where the song talks about another thing that we all do in the world of daydreaming, which is live out our wants and our hopes. And sometimes we spend more time living out our wants and hopes and dreams in our heads than we do actually put in effort and work towards reaching them. And that could be anything from, being a better, boyfriend, or being a better worker, or putting more time in the gym, or putting more time to whatever goal that we have in the future. And this song kind of plays homage to that. So yeah. Cool. So I'm just going to sing. That's how this works. So
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Most days I just let it go round, let it roam free. My mind stays lost in this haze. Most days I'm just trying to find me, trying to find peace. It's hard just finding my way, but I can't justify hiding this truth, say that I can't justify that I'm living life. That's it.
Nice. Jamaal, where can our listeners connect with you online?
Anywhere. Just type my name in, Jamaal Marvel. So that's spelled Jamaal, and then Marvel, like Marvel Comics. So again, just Jamaal with 3 A's, Jamaal, and then Marvel, like Marvel Comics. Just type my name in Google. All my social media pops up. My YouTube channel, if you want to check out my Megaverse series on YouTube, just type in Jamaal Marvel as well. You can go to Spotify, Apple, Deezer, anywhere you listen to music at. Also, any social media, like I said, Instagram, all those good places. Just type in Jamaal Marvel, and I'll be there.
All right. Listeners, just in case you didn't get those links, no worries. I will have them in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click those links. All right, Jamaal, it was always a pleasure having you on Vigilantes Radio Live. Your journey, your heartfelt narratives and tales of a full premonition to the soulful vibes of Daydream reminds us all of the powerful of authentic, there we go, storytelling and music. Your ability to fuse, yes sir, to fuse genres and evoke emotions is a gift to the industry. So listeners, make sure to stream Jamaal's latest album, follow him on social media, and share the magic of his music with your circles. Don't forget to subscribe both to Vigilantes Radio as well as Jamaal Marvel. Leave us a rating and share this episode with a friend or two. Let's keep amplifying voices that inspire. Thank you so much, Jamaal.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate you doing what you do and giving me a platform to push out my goals, my dreams, my creation. We as artists wouldn't be what we are without individuals like yourself and your platform and your audience. So thank you guys so much.
Indeed. That is what we are here for, and you are welcome. Have a wonderful, great night. Thank you.
You too, man. See ya. Bye.
Hey, what's up? Long time. I forgot to mention that. Oh, by the way, this is Deanie, Vigilantes Radio Live. VP of Operations for Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, Only One Theory dropped a new single. It is called La Jefecita. It's on Spotify. As a matter of fact, it's on all major platforms. You should check it out right now. Oh, and by the way, there's also a visual on YouTube. It's hot. Check it out today. onlyonetheory.com. Check that out too. Peace.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com. And that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Deanie, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
What's up, guys? It's Deanie, and I want to welcome you on a journey of the heart and of the mind. These Fucking Feelings podcast is a beacon in the world of mental health advocacy, and it invites you to join a conversation that's changing lives. We are here to share, listen, and grow together. Led by the passionate Micah Bravery, alongside the insightful Rebecca and Crystal, this award-winning podcast dives deep into the human experience, from navigating relationships to coping with loss. No topic is off limits. It's about real stories and real emotions. These Fucking Feelings is more than just a show. It's a community, a place where vulnerable isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. You can find it across major platforms, including YouTube and Facebook Watch. This podcast is a touchstone for anyone seeking understanding and support. These Fucking Feelings podcast, where every emotion is valid and every story matters. Tune in and transform the way you see mental health.